Vietnam in HD is a six-part American documentary television mini-series that originally aired from November 8 to November 11, 2011 on the History Channel. For the same producers as World War II in HD, the program focuses on the first-hand experiences of 13 Americans during the Vietnam War. The 13 Americans retell the stories in Vietnam paired with found footage from the battlefield. The episodes premiered on 3 consecutive days, with 2 episodes per day. The series is narrated by Michael C. Hall. The tagline for the series is, "It's not the war we know, it's the war they fought." Featured people: Ann Purcell, wife of Army Colonel Benjamin Purcell, Vietnam POW, 2nd of August 68, March 27, 73. Ann is a founding member of the National League of Families, an organization that publicized the issue of MIAs and POWs in Vietnam. She also oversaw the development of the "You Are Not Forgotten" POW MIA flag. She is portrayed by Jennifer Love Hewitt Barry Romo, a recently graduated lieutenant in the 196th Infantry Brigade, serving in Vietnam from summer 1967 spring 1968. Romo was awarded a Bronze Star for his efforts saving wounded men from his platoon. Following the death of his nephew, Romo became involved in the Vietnam Veterans Against the War and participated in demonstrations, including throwing away his medals earned in Vietnam. He is portrayed by Adrian Grenier. Joe Galloway, a combat reporter for United Press International during the Vietnam War, embedded with the 1st Cavalry Division during the Battle of Iowa Drang Valley. Galloway received a Bronze Star in 1998 for repeatedly disregarding his own safety to rescue wounded soldiers under fire. Galloway was the only civilian decorated by the U.S. Army with a Bronze Star with Valor during the Vietnam War. He is portrayed by Edward Burns. Bob Clough, a U.S. Army officer serving as an advisor to the ARVN from 1964. He is portrayed by Dean Cain. Keith Connolly, an F-100 Super Sabre pilot stationed in South Vietnam in 1965. Connolly took part in the first massive bombing campaign, Operation Rolling Thunder. He returned to Vietnam in 1969 for his second tour of duty, this time flying AF-4 Phantoms bombing the Ho Chi Minh Trail. He is portrayed by Kevin Connolly. Charles Brown, as a platoon sergeant in the 173rd Airborne Brigade. Brown led search and destroy missions until being injured by booby trap. Brown later returned to his unit and fought in the Battle of Thac II in November 1967, including the bloody fight on the slopes of Hill 875. He was awarded 2 Bronze Stars for his actions during the Battle of Thac II and Hill 875. He tells of how, before being sent to Vietnam, he was a drill sergeant in charge of training draftees before they were deployed to Vietnam. His account of the battle includes a story of how he received orders to send a man to the rear to be trained on the flamethrower. He tells of how the young private that he selected to carry the flamethrower was killed when a piece of grenade shrapnel hit the pressure tank on the flamethrower, causing it to explode. He is portrayed by Blair Underwood. Raymond Torres, a Navy corpsman attached to the 26th Marine Regiment, who was deployed to aid the Marines at the Battle of Khe San. He was eventually wounded himself by a grenade during fighting at Hill 861A. He is portrayed by Jerry Ferrara. Elizabeth Allen, a trauma nurse stationed on Pleiku Air Base during the Tet Offensive. She is portrayed by Tempest Bledsoe. Arthur Wicknick. After being drafted, Wicknick is sent to Vietnam in spring 1969, serving as a sergeant in the 101st Airborne Division. Only days after his arrival, his company becomes involved in the Battle of Hamburger Hill. He is portrayed by James Marsden. Karl Marlantz. Marlantz was a Marine lieutenant, awarded the Navy Cross for his actions in battle in 1969. He is portrayed by Zachary Levi. Donald DeVore. He is portrayed by Glenn Houghton. Gary Benedetti. He is portrayed by Armie Hammer. Jim Anderson. He is portrayed by Dylan McDermott. Episodes